Way to go, FRO. You won the Indianapolis 500. But he's leaving his team at the end of the year? Very interesting.
Green will be the next question.
As we all know by now, Felix Rosenqvist won his first Indianapolis 500 in only his second IndyCar career race win a few weekends ago now, obviously at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But big news coming out of the Meyer Shank camp is that he is going to be leaving the team at the end of this year. Yes, and going off by all accounts, Marcus Armstrong as well in the other car, on the 66 car, his future isn't looking penciled in yet either. So they could get 2 new drivers next year, just like they did do a couple of years ago. But Felix Rosenqvist has had 45 starts for the team up to this point, before the Honda 200 at Mid-Ohio coming up this weekend now. And yeah, it's a really bizarre situation because it's Indy 500 champion, and well, he probably is going to defend the victory next year, but for a different team. Had a really good comeback to his career ever since he joined Meyer Shank, so that's a really good positive for him and the team, because he was sort of on the ropes with McLaren and Ganassi at the start. Like I say, he started in 2024 with the team, and he qualified second on his debut at St. Petersburg Grand Prix, but he ultimately finished the race down in 5th, and he finished 12th in the standings back in 2024, which isn't too bad considering what Meyer Shank really are as a mid-grid team. They have had the technical alliance of Chip Ganassi Racing, the best team in IndyCar, but it is still decent because, you know, they do have the software and stuff like that. But, you know, it's a bit like AJ Foyt's with Penske, so that sort of thing. In 2025, he qualified 5th for the Indy 500 and finished 4th in the end of all the pre-race shenanigans and all that sort of stuff, and post-race shenanigans as well to have that. He's had decent podiums here and there, a few pole positions, all that sort of stuff. And coming into this year, it was looking to be even better. He obviously got pole at Long Beach, but he did lose the lead and obviously the win after that to Alex Palou in a pit cycle under yellow. So he finished second on the day there. But yeah, after that, he really took the momentum going forward. And yeah, it really sort of came to a point at the 500, as we all know by now. I don't need to say any more on this topic. He won the 500. So, yeah. Felix currently sits 6th in the standings with 248 points to be precise. So yeah, he's very good, and currently ahead of Team Penske's Joseph Newgarden and Scott McLaughlin there, and way ahead of Scott Dixon as well, so that's a claim as well, especially as I have the Chip Ganassi Racing and Meyer Shank allegiance, like I mentioned before. So, you know, sort of like ahead of a teammate kind of thing, ahead of an ex-teammate as well. And talking about where he could go next, he could return to Ganassi, where he was for his rookie season in 2019 to 2020, where he did get that win at Road America. Or he could go back to McLaren, where he was there from 2021 to 2023, which I'm not too keen on that either. Or he could even go to Andretti, where the rumours of Marcus Ericsson getting booted out as well, seeing as they are pretty happy with Carl Kirkwood and Will Power. But the question with that is, what does it do to Dennis Hauger? Because he is an Andretti product, and he's basically on loan to Dale Coyne, that kind of thing there. A bit like what they done with AJ Foyt a few years ago with Carl Kirkwood in 2022. Did you know that you can get 10% off all W products, including this lovely pink blossom cap or this lovely green and lime shaker bottle? And if that's not your jam, and if you want the actual products, you can get some of these. But as you can see, there's a whole array of flavours and a whole array of different products you can get. But yeah, if you want any of the coffee extract, there's a big variety here. But if you want this, they even do hoodies as well, and flags. So you can get all that sort of stuff, and with 10% off with my code Motorsports95. But yes, it is a very diverse range and is all pretty good stuff, so I would definitely recommend it. Really interesting for the rumour mill, because Meyer Shank did try and do quite a decent offer from what I hear to Felix Rosenqvist, but he denied it, he didn't accept it, because we hear that he's had a better offer elsewhere. So my guess is it's one of these 3 teams, because they are the better teams other than Meyer Shank. On the other better team is Penske, but I can't imagine they would offer him a certification to sort of drop Newgarden or McLaughlin, even though Newgarden's been a bit patchy at best for nearly 2 years now, and McLaughlin's been not all there since, well, the 500 last year. I still don't think there's much reason for either of those two to get dropped, and I personally don't want them to either, because I'm a fan of those two boys. So That's just my personal opinion, and my sort of allegiance has taken over on that. But it's a really, really interesting one, because the 500 champion is moving teams, and if you don't look at like part-time schedules and all that sort of stuff, or even like one-offs, I can't think of the last time that ever happened, really, in terms of someone actually leaving a team in the series to go to another team in the same series full-time after the winning the biggest race, realistically. So yeah, that'll be an even new attempt that we'll talk about in Indianapolis next year, of Felix Rosenqvist trying to go back-to-back. A bit like what Newgarden did, but this time with different teams. So there'll be a different sort of storyline with that as well. But I find this really, really intriguing, and wherever Felix ends up, it's going to be interesting. And yeah, depending on where he does end up, it'll create a massive domino effect, obviously, with the driver market. But I can't wait to get into that. It's going to be so interesting, and yeah, it's fascinating, like I said. And I don't know, I have a feeling he's probably going to end up at Andretti, I think, although I'd love to see him back in a Ganassi car. I don't want him to go to McLaren again, because they messed him up before, and I don't know why you want to go back there. Ganassi is a bit more of a step in the right direction, because you've still got that allegiance, so they've been watching him this entire time, having Ganassi, and obviously they're just not as much of a toxic nature as McLaren have been with their drivers' treatments in past. I mean, just look at David Malukas. He really had the last laugh for that situation against Zach Brown, so I don't know why in your right mind you'd want to go back to a McLaren team where they've already proven to you that you're not that worthy to them in their eyes. But yes, it's so fascinating, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the results of this. Hopefully by the time I've recorded this video and posted it, it hasn't been released, because I'm going to have to do some really quick editing, but we'll have to see with that. But yes, Felix Rosenqvist, FRO is leaving MSR. Do you agree with this take, or do you think he should have stayed put? Well, time's going to tell on this one, but it's quite fascinating nonetheless.